And welcome back to another episode of The Outer Worlds, where we are doing an interesting playthrough. Maybe intelligence challenged is the words for it. Okay, where we left off, we took all the power from the botanical laboratory. Let's see if they'll even let us talk to them. Hey Zoe, you made it back.
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
Yeah, they sure do. All right, here's Thomas.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead.
Today's your lucky day, Thomas. I've got those data pads you wanted.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Part 1 I found in the community center of the archives.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Hold on, man, I got more.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Part 2, I found it in the cannery.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
Hold on, I got one more for you.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
The elusive Part 3. Someone stashed it away in the old geothermal plant.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Miss Parvati. I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Nice. Well, thanks, sir. All right, let's talk to Grace.
Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand.
Hey, I talked Zoe into coming back.
We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
She joined up with a band of marauders. They hadn't hurt her, though.
Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things. You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Appreciate it. Anything from you?
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
She totally did that.
Nothing. With the power gone, we've got to conserve our supplies.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Let's go talk to Adelaide. But first, can I add... So this is physical armor rating. So I can put that in. But I think it already has factory stock armor rating. So wouldn't that be redundant? Electrocharged surface. Let's do it. Okay, so it's got factory armor, which is 20. I think this adds to it. Yeah, okay, that brought us to 23. Okay, so that did help. All right. Now, we can add armor rating to Parvati. And we want to leave her... Oh, she doesn't have a skill kit installed. So let's do Silver Tongue on her, I guess? I don't know. You know what? We'll hold on to that stuff. Okay, let's go talk to Adelaide. She's going to be real happy with us, I think.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
Don't know. I guess I like pressing buttons.
Are you really this moronical, or are you just putting on airs? Listen here, Hullhead. I'm only gonna say this once. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
What happened to you, Adelaide? All this anger had to come from somewhere.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
That's pretty horrible. What if I took care of Reed for you?
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
I don't think Reed's just gonna leave his post. I need some evidence to convince him to leave.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
Soylent Green is people! I knew it. So what happens when you run out of corpses? Just thinking ahead here.
Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. Enough for a generation's worth of crops.
Alright then. We need to go talk to Reed. I think that's the solution, is Reed leaving. We'll come back. Come back and get this stuff. Let's go talk to Reed. Okay, let's go see Reed. Okay, so all we have left is retrieve our power regulator and convince the deserters to return. I think we're going to remove Reed. I don't like him. And nobody seems to know what the plague is, which bothers me a lot. All right, Reed. Oh, man, my favorite song. All right, Reed.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
I wanted to talk to you about something.
Go ahead.
Have you taken a look at your town lately?
It is my job to keep 2 eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post.
And how long have you worked here?
I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the Vales spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the Vale will always be here. Spacer's Choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that.
This town's falling apart, man.
I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
Okay, I won't say it, but I'm thinking real hard about it.
I expect you wouldn't understand. You don't see the town as I do. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
So you're loyal to Spacer's Choice, huh?
This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude.
Let me ask you something else.
Go ahead.
We need to have a word about this plague.
Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up.
You withhold medicine from your own workers.
If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose.
You let Adelaide's son die.
Adelaide's son was barely competent. I treat him with our medical rations, and it looks like I'm playing favorites. Now, I will not pretend to understand the suffering Adelaide must have felt on account of losing her child, but she is not the only one to have felt such suffering. I wish she had stayed with us. Adelaide left us when we needed her most.
Wow. How long has this plague been going on?
That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent.
Everyone gets sick. You don't have to be idle or lethargic or weak of spirit.
Modern science disagrees with you, friend. It is a well-documented fact that the wealthiest in society do not suffer from ailments of the Constitution. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude, and it is one we will see through to the end.
All right, I spoke to Adelaide. She's not coming back as long as you're in that seat.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town.
Town's a mess, Reed.
I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Adelaide's people aren't getting sick with the plague.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
This town doesn't eat anything but salt tuna. Of course they're gonna get sick.
You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice salt tuna cannery. We eat salt tuna here, and only salt tuna.
What exactly are you even putting in those cans?
Processed, liquefied, retextured salt tuna rendered in a chemical bath, of course. Well, mostly salt tuna. We've been experiencing a salt tuna shortage, you see. So we've had to improvise. We've added wood chips, some mushrooms, bit of sand, tossed some canid bits in our processor once. It all tastes like salt tuna in the end.
That is not healthy. How long have you been living like this?
Couple years, give or take, right around the time the first wave of plagues hit the town. Now listen, I do not know what pretty rhetoric Adelaide has fed you, but plagues are a simple fact of life.
Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down, which would save your people.
You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
She's been using human corpses and it's working great.
Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery.
This town needs Adelaide. She won't come back if you're here.
So Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I'm as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom.
Do what you want. I'm not the one running this town into the ground.
You're right. I am being obstinate. If the best thing I can do for this town is to stand down, then stand down I shall. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
What are your plans?
A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
Why not?
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement.
You aren't gonna last long outside of the walls with all the Adrenatime marauders.
I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week.
You don't really have to do this.
I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs.
This can't be easy for you.
I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
All right, man. Well, I don't really like either of these solutions, but I guess that'll have to do. Let's go, Parvati. Oh well, anyways. We have to go talk to Adelaide. 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 All right, here we go. We've done it, kids. All right, Adelaide.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
No, keep your pants on. I talked to Reed into leaving.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
Edgewater's better off with you running the place.
You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Take care. Ooh, we leveled up. Booyah. Lots of stuff. She doesn't mind, right? She's not where she can see me, so of course she doesn't mind. Here's our core. Power regulator. Ooh, in a box. With bits. Okay, we've done it. We've done everything on our journal. Let's take a look at our journal here. All we have left is the main quest. Did we botch anything? We did not botch anything. We completed all the side quests, and the main quest is all we have left. It's time to return to the Unreliable. Ah, look at that fine ship. That's definitely in good condition.
Is this your ship?
Whoa.
Oh, my star, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling.
I can understand not wanting to go back to that place. You didn't seem very happy in Edgewater.
Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
Of course, Parvati. Pick a cabin, whichever one you want. It's yours.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Then I got a crew. Let's get in there. Oh, Vicar. Just the man I wanted to
Well,
see.
I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable.
Yeah.
I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Oh, yeah. You're just so chipper, Vicar. Okie dokie. Well, it's time for us to plug in the power regulator. But first, we gotta level up. So, what do we want to level up? I think we're gonna continue to bring our sneak up. Stealth, sorry. And what do we want to do with perks? Recharge rate, carrying capacity. I think we're going to go with TTD recharge rate. Okie doke. And let's take a look at our gear here. This thing looks pretty nice. I think I'll give that to Vicar. Oh, nice little sight for our pistol. Let's do that. I like that pistol. And our gear is maxed out. And hers already has the toughened. We put that in there. So she uses melee. Let's do that. And then we're going to do carrying capacity. Because I don't know if that directly... It did not affect me. Okay. But I wonder if I can put stuff in her inventory? I don't think so. So that was a waste. Okay. Let's break down some poop. That. And that one. This one's pristine, isn't it? Ah. We'll keep it just in case. Alright. Let's get rid of... Whoa! I never even noticed we got that. Wow, that's two-hand melee plus 5. It's a chef hat tall. I love it. Alright, let's get rid of that. That. And I think we'll store our other gear. We need to put some stuff on Vicar. Here we go. Okie doke. Let's go talk to Ada. Ada.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community.
Thank you, Ada.
What can I do for you, Captain?
I've installed the power regulator.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Let's get out of here.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Ah, what has Rick got for me?
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
I've been feeling a little lightheaded. Also, I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Why do I need a nav key to land on a planet?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
Right, the black marketeer. Got it.
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
Can't I just land somewhere outside of Stellar Bay?
In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Kelly.
Fine, I'll go have a word with Gladys.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
You want me to wear a cape?
Wrong matter of shroud, my slow-witted accomplice. This is, how to put it simply, a device that makes you look different, sound different. Briefly. The device has its limits, but it will allow you to blend in perfectly, and probably won't jeopardize your ability to have children. Will it? No, definitely not. Probably, yes. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
You mentioned it has limitations?
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
And people are actually going to fall for this? Seems kind of far-fetched.
Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you.
Camouflage. Got it.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Thanks, Ada. All right. Pretty. Okay, let's go to Groundbreaker. This place. Spacer's Choice Travel Advisory. Welcome to the system map. Here you can see all the planets in the system as well as some special points of interest that you may have discovered. You can fly your ship to any location that you've unlocked. Through some landing bays require special codes, though some landing bays require special codes and keys before you are allowed to land there. Moving between planets is considered extremely dangerous and all employees are encouraged to remain home or at work.
Arrived at the Groundbreaker.
Ooh. Thanks, Ada.
Hey, Cap, can we talk?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson.
Junlei! What about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Sure, we can head over to engineering.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Did you learn your trade from your father? It sounded like it when you talked to Reed.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all of my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
I don't see the humor in that.
He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
But you're actually good at it, and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
You didn't like your classes?
Oh, there were a whole lot of reading, not nearly enough doing. Like, before they'd issue you a wrench, they wanted an essay on the design of different wrenches. Then there'd be quizzes on company regulations for storage and maintenance of wrenches.
So after school, you moved straight back to Edgewater?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Did you get much time with him after you came back from school?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
All right, thanks for your help. Okay, dokie. Everything's running great. We need to grab... Oh, look, we got an Edgewater sign. I must have swiped it when I wasn't looking. Here's our cape. The Holographic Shroud. The Holographic Shroud projects a disguise on you and your companions that gives you access to restricted areas provided you have the correct ID cartridge for that area. Restricted areas are off limits to unauthorized personnel and otherwise result in being attacked on sight. Sweet. All right. We're going to store this thing. I think I'm going to carry that for now. Okay, that's it. That's all I needed to store. Let's take a look at this here terminal. Welcome, Captain. Messages for Alex Hawthorne. Unread messages. You Bedford. Wingman's Wingman Bedford. Udom. Alex Wingman Hawthorne. Reply, thank you. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message, silly me, I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart, well, of steel. It's not exactly board approved, so don't you go showing it around to your spacer buddies. I hope it will amuse you while you're out adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Wink face, Udom. All right. Hawthorne's archived messages. Oh boy. From Udom. Subject, thank you. Dearest Alex, I can't tell you how pleased I am to finally hear from you. Your message was hilarious. I am delighted by your sense of humor and your tale of hijinks. I hope your terminal will cooperate for the foreseeable future. By the by, I am scraping Groundbreaker's comms network for tasty little tidbits, and I noticed you declined to dock at Edgewater's landing pad and instead touched down in the wilderness. You rugged individualist, you. I only pray that the idiot Thompson wasn't giving you any trouble. Anyway, I hope your meeting down in Terra 2 proves fruitful. I look forward to corresponding with greater regularity. Your best friend, Udom. Seems kind of slimy. Udom Bedford. Hello, Alex. I don't know where you were raised, but I'd hazard to guess it may have been a barn, because anyone with even a modicum of decent rearing would know it's unforgivably rude to ignore the ardent, sincere messages of one's friend's best, Udom. Please respond. P.S. Okay, getting a little forward here. Checking in. Dear Alex, hello. Hope this finds you well. It was a pleasure to see you in my office again last week. Once again, I am terribly sorry for the impounding mix-up. How could it have happened a second time? Terminals these days, I swear, dreadfully unreliable. Just like your ship. I hope you've given some thought to the thing that we've discussed. You know, about Wells Fellow. I'm sorry to press, but I have the strangest tickling feeling that you really do know him. And if you could just tell me where he is, well, that would be marvelous for our friendship, wouldn't it? Looking forward to seeing you again, Wingman. Your dear friend, Udom. A pleasure. Dear Alex. Hello, Udom here. Udom Bedford. We met when I accidentally impounded your ship, my silly fat fingers embarrassing me once again. I hope it wasn't too terribly inconvenient for you. It was such a pleasure for me, and tremendously appreciate your forbearance in not throttling me. You really are quite the gentleman. If you're ever in Groundbreaker's airspace, well, space, please don't hesitate to look me up. The Lost Hope serves Spectrum vodka. Perhaps we could try every color. You know, really tie one on. Let me know. Your new friend, Udom. The Lost Hope is a bar on the Groundbreaker. Wow. Return to root. Logs. Untitled Shrink Ray. Note to self, remember this later. No better. Ada, remind me weekly to check on this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Back to the point. I saw, in actuality, with my own 2 eyes, a sublimely powerful weapon in Wells' lab. Just sitting there for the taking. If the gray hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe, or if I had asked a smidgen more nicely, he called it a shrink ray, but wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper, said he was inspired to create the thing by achievements of other scientists who dared to push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons to push the boundaries of the mind and science cutting edge, but I figured they were just stories. To be honest, laying eyes on Wells' shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors, more to be had. Alex Hawthorne. Okay, hammer power. The last time I got sloshed, I mean, I was imbibing at the Hope on the Groundbreaker. Look, Udom was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped on 2 Mardats yammering on about a mad scientist some years back who claimed he made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like none of us have heard that one before, but here is a good part. The Mardets said that the mad scientist kept yelling about Hammer's power or something similar. A strange weapon with special power created by a crazy lab coat. Sure fits the bill. It could be another one of those weapons inspired Wells. Alex Hawthorne. Black market leads. Why won't Wells just give me that shrink ray? Blast him into the depths of Labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times, but architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered it and thanked him without asking permission or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't really ready yet, and that if it were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that even mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I'd use it to wipe out the good, hard-working folks of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I'll admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code to me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect in that? Exactly. Now, I have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he misplaced it. In the meanwhile, I have been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to others of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check the black market merchants in the Groundbreaker and in Fallbrook. Alex Hawthorne. Okay, that's all of it. We got some side weapons, side missions to look up. So Phineas has a shrink ray. That's going to be fun. Whoa, Sam. There's no response from the auto-mechanical unit. A serial number etched in its chassis includes the letters Sam. Leave the auto-mechanical alone. All right. This, did you notice on every Spacer's Choice logo, all the R's and the H's are missing? Banged up toolbox, full of modified tools with unique mechanical usages. Digging around in here would be an easy way to lose a finger on a sawtooth blade. This must be Parvati's room. First wrench Dad ever gave me. He's been a friend ever since. Parvati. Oh. Feel bad for Parvati. Oh, there's a picture of him. A stern older man with warm eyes. Yep. Okay. This is not a petunia. Petunia the plant. Oh, She named her plant Petunia. That's great. What do we got here? In a horrifying vision of the future, the board has been overthrown by the seditious and slovenly savages of Monarch. Only Halcyon Helen can rescue the colony from indulgence and entitlement, approved by the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Okay, 12 amazing episodes. Awesome. Ah, Vicar. How are you holding up?
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
I'd like to know a little something about the people I'm flying with. What's your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic disposition?
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
Why were you so passionate about it?
My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
But weren't they proud of you for becoming a vicar?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me.
What's this plan you're talking about?
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
If you can't help but follow the plan, then everything you do is part of it, right?
The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it, whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
I wanted to ask about that book. Does it have anything to do with your religion at all?
Bokonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
What's a philosophist?
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bokonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
A vicar searching for a banned book sets a bad example, doesn't it?
The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bokonu journal.
Any ideas where we can find someone who speaks French in the colony?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bokonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
A former what now?
You caught me. Listen, the OSI frowns on fraternization with philosophists. I'd like to keep my associations with our scholar friend quiet.
Sounds like a good lead, but how are we going to find him?
That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
How is it that a simple vicar happens to be such a highly skilled hacker?
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
How's a crew manifest going to help us track down your scholar friend?
I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophist's off-world destination.
I see. All right, let's do it.
Thank you, Captain.
What do we got here? The art and science of tossball. Impossible to put down. Order of Scientific Inquiry, Office of Literature. This endorsement has been approved. Auntie Cleo's Darlings. Signed by Seymour Whitlock, who held the record for most on-the-field fatalities for 3 consecutive seasons. Oh, boy. In mint condition, tossball trading cards. Most of these cards represent players in the Hephaestos Hammers and the Tilebackers. All right. Ooh, don't mind if I do. The Journal of Maximilian Desoto, Volume 1. The scribblings on these journal pages are utterly illegible and to anyone except the vigor Maximilian Desoto. What a great name. Doctrinal Studies 539 of Equity and Equations. Got it. These textbooks have been out of print for almost half a century. The margins are filled with scribbled notes, and many passages have been underlined. Some pages have come loose, and the glue now yellowed and cracked along the spines. All right. Index of Banned Literature. Part 1, Various Qualifying Considerations. Part 2, Principal Rules of Restricted Management. Part 3, Morals and Maxims of Banning Unethical Literature. Part 4, Proof of Grand Architect and Predestination, a refutation of the titles listed here within. Part 5, Consequences, the Mind, and the Will of Man when led astray. Part 6, Official List of Banned Titles. Part 7, Prerequisites for Advancing the Investigation, Outing, and Penalization of Offenders. Oh boy, that's a doozy. OSI Anointment Vial. Smells suspiciously like iceberg-aged whiskey. Ah, I see. Ooh, what's this? Oh, I can't read that one. Oh, I can sleep in your bed. All right. Hot stuff. Okie doke. Well, looks like we got room for more crew members. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3? Because this is, we got Parvati. All right, we got room for 3 more and our SAM unit. Interesting. Okie doke. Well, there's nothing for it. Let's get to the Groundbreaker. Let's do it, Parvati. Let's take both of them. Well, hello, Jane.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then.
Ah, thank you, Jane. Let's change your outfit here. And we have an upgrade for him. So let's take and give him this thing. And I think we're going to give him a big boy gun. Or should we give him the shotgun? Let's give him the shotgun. That's his thing, right? All right, and then we're going to give him that. Oh, I don't know. Dialogue skills. Those are pretty beneficial. And two-handed melee. All right, and then let's give him 10 to hack. And that's all we have for him. Okay. Okie doke. Let's make our way onto the... Hello, what's this? Ooh. You think I can get away with it? Didn't see a thing, boys. Didn't see a thing. So this is the groundbreaker.
Hey, Captain. I'm in space.
Yes, you are.
I never thought I'd be able to say that.
Welcome to space, Parvati. I'm glad you're excited.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. Need a trick.
Hi, Felix.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
I noticed you were in the middle of a argument.
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
So what's your take?
I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
Oh boy.
Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
Got any plans, man?
Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Technically, the previous captain relinquished it to me.
So your ship's got a dark and violent history? This is just too perfect. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
I never caught your name. I'm Grey Ghost.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Same to you, Felix.
See you around, boss.
Boss. Captain. I like it. Okay. I don't think I'm going to get away with stealing any of this stuff. I mean, misappropriating. But I'm going to try. Hey, no, I need that close. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Way to stand guard. Okay. This is the groundbreak. Oh, there's just maglocks laying around. Oh. Ooh, wanted board. McCready? Wanted dead or alive. Captain Gunmar McCready. McCready? I don't know. For several counts of public intoxication, destruction of groundbreaker property, unpaid docking fees, and resisting arrest. That's dead or alive? Jeez. Contact Commandant Sanita if you have any information concerning McCready's whereabouts. Failure to report a tip may result in imprisonment and a fine. Proof of kill required to collect reward. Ooh, Phineas. For various crimes and violations of board policy, including any and all of the following: sedition, forgery, conspiracy to commit conspiracy, unlicensed medical practice, destruction of board property.
That's quite the impressive list of infractions.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking. Good on him. All right. Cool. Got some vending machines here.
Right this way.
Oh, hello, Leonard.
Identification, please.
You're guarding the door, so I call you guard. You're welcome.
I
That's only about the third or fourth dumbest line I've heard all day. I give it a 6 out of 10.
Seems a little high. That was barely a 3 in my humble opinion.
Hey, that's better than half. Could be worse.
Could be better, too. So, identification?
Yeah, here you go.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
I take it back. I'm not Hawthorne, and that's not my ship.
Oh, thank the law. I could use a diversion. Tell me more, then. Really sell it to me.
Yeah, Captain Hawthorne abducted me and made me work on his ship for free. I'm a prisoner. Help!
I like where this is headed. What happened to this, vile kidnapper?
He's dead.
You must feel terrific. Good for you.
So you believe I'm not Hawthorne?
Not in the least. Good story, though.
So how do I fix this?
You'll want to take it up with Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Any idea why my ship was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know who this is. I'm going to wring Bedford's neck.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
Sure.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I was looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
Seems like there's a little bit of tension between the board and the Groundbreaker.
You noticed, huh?
I'm bright like that.
They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Your station's in a state of disrepair. You could make the board fix it.
You mean the heat? Sure, we could make them fix it, but what would they do in retaliation? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway.
Got any leads for me?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
You got any other information on Udom?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
So the board runs most of the system, don't they?
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
Thanks for the info.
Sure thing.
All right, guys. Let's go see what this is all about. Hello.
Huh?
Oh, okay. A quest objective requires you to enter a restricted area. If caught inside, you will be shot on sight. Using a disguise will prevent immediate hostilities. C&P. Well,
This
thank
is
you,
it.
C&P.
Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the scholar shipped in and out with.
All right, Vicar.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that? Graham?
Asshole.
All right. What do we got here? Oh, Sonata.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering.
I'm interested in the McCready bounty.
Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork.
I'll take the posting.
You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed to you.
McCred, not McCready. Look at me. What's it like working security detail on a space station?
Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on post, I take my duties real serious. I would have no qualms whatsoever escorting you to a cell. Understand?
Fine, fine.
Then get to business or get moving.
What's a Mardet?
We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know.
Why Mardet and not guard or officer?
The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet. Folks started calling us Mardets because it was easier to say. Guess it stuck.
I couldn't help but notice there was a bounty posting for Phineas Wells.
The outlaw scientist fella, right. The board's had it out for him for ages. If you have an inkling of the wheres or what fors of his location, Udon Bedford would surely like to hear it.
Phineas is my friend.
I think you might have got your words mixed up again, Captain.
No, I mean it. I've been on a secret base and everything.
If you're looking for a payday, you'll want to talk to Udom about it. I'm not processing the board's paperwork for them. Not least because they want everything in triplicate. Won't the one message do? No, I have to send it 3 times.
Okay.
Glad to hear it. Anything else?
Nope. Thank you. Hello.
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today?
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
This is the security desk, sir. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore.
Why can't you take incident reports anymore?
I'm not so good at filing. Mix up first name and surname 1, 2, 7 times. Well, folks are liable to start taking your filing privileges away.
Do you do tours or anything?
We can't just let anyone walk in here. I wouldn't be, well, it's not... We just don't. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sanita, or help Chief Tennyson fix this heat, that might warrant a thank you tour or something.
I bet you get seized contraband from all over the system locked up back there.
Sure, and stuff from outside the system too, off the interstellar freighters. That's why we also have so many armed Mardets on duty here.
What if some of that contraband's mine and I'm here to claim it?
That'd be awful weird. On account of you should be locked up back here too then.
Never mind.
All right.
A lot of freighters come through this station. Must keep you busy.
Less than there used to be. Fewer freighters passing through these days. I spend some shifts just listening to the wireless.
Why aren't there as many freighters coming through?
Search me. I mean, don't search me, because that's my job. Get it? I reckon you'd have to ask the folks in Byzantium.
All right, see you around. Well, that guy was helpful. Ah, I see. Well, let's take a look in here at the groundbreaker. Whoa.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Wow.
Free nuts in it. It's time for a KYO.
Ah, this place is great. Look, space is coice. Rest and go. All right. Well, with that, that is the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I know it was a little bit of a lot of dialogue, but we're going to start getting into some action anytime now. So, if you guys liked the video, hit that like button. If you want to see the rest of this series, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon when I come out with new content. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.
Drumming up marauder squads, blood running in the streets, all kinds of shit.